Don't you just love it, guys? Yeah, hashtag stoner moment, right? What is up, you guys? What is up, you guys? It's your boy Alchemist Ganjier. Welcome to another episode of Enki's Canonical. It's funny. As I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm already noticing that there's a minor little glitch with my camera. Now I'm gonna try to adjust real quick. Bop and bop. There we go. Hopefully that made things look a little bit better. Yeah, it's crazy the things that I'm learning about lighting. Yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. I hope that everyone had a really good Easter Sunday. And most importantly, a fantastic 420. I know that mine was with all the busyness going on. Yes, it's just like there's a lot of stuff. Honestly, I feel like there's more stuff going on next weekend pertaining to 420 this week. I feel like there was a lot of people who were very nervous about doing a 420 event. So it kind of turned into there wasn't a whole lot. Now, granted, there were some things going on. Mount Zion Seed Co-op did their big seed giveaway on Sunday. Definitely sorry to any of you guys who I missed with that. But there was also Golden Cactus was doing an event, but and I found it so last minute, and I'm so chagrined because I really would have loved to have gone. Was that N2U did an event on Saturday, which was really lit. And I mean, granted, even if you guys didn't make N2U for that, going any time, really, they're pretty awesome time. Same goes for Mount Zion. Mount Zion does a lot of events on Sundays. It's every other Sunday there's an event going on, or a class or workshop of some kind. And there's always a good time. And even when there isn't a class going on, chances are there's some really knowledgeable people there that will give you the equivalent of a class, if you wanted it, or at least a little lesson. But yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. I got to see some really fun people yesterday. What's up, Mary? Including Mary. Shout out to Mary for hosting an awesome 420 event. I felt honored to be there, and lots of great vibes, lots of great people. But yeah, so there's as far as what we're covering today, it's so funny. I see this study. This is a new groundbreaking study looking at how cannabis interacts with cancer patients. And this is a multi-level study that used AI machine learning to analyze tons and tons and tons of studies. Doing a particular type of analysis that looks for positive, neutral, and negative trends amongst the study's data, and the stuff that they found was amazing. We're gonna get into that. There's also a little bit of old news that I still think is really relevant. I only touched on it a couple of weeks ago, but we're gonna get into a little bit more on that, and it's related to the VA that's actually actively seeking help from the cannabis industry for explaining the benefits and the potential drawbacks of cannabis for medical patients, i.e., the veterans who are very much demanding that they receive this type of care. Who, oh my gosh, who wouldn't want to be able to trade 7 medications for one medication? I mean, come on, get out of here. Come on, people don't even want to go to more than 3 stores when they're grocery shopping. But yeah, so lots of good stuff. But of course, before we really hop into that, we're gonna look at some of the things that we have here today. That's right. I was going to do a follow-up on Cannabox, who, as some of you guys may know, I've had a little bit of a drama with over the last few months. They came through with a really beautiful, awesome flower piece, one of the best flower pieces I've had in a while in terms of its core functionality. Like it's eloquent in the design, all that. It's one of those things where, I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And the rest of the items from Cannabox have been, well, the other hours of the day. And it's been okay. The most recent one was the Babong Bob, the little Super Mario like thing that you hit out of. And by and large, I think it's okay. It's not as bad as that gingerbread piece back there that I refuse to like use outside of maybe the holiday. Like heck, I legitimately, like, if anyone is really enamored with like gingerbread man type pieces, I very well may do a giveaway for it. Just because, like, it's not like the piece doesn't work. I am one of those people that, like, I am function over, I'm about utility over cosmetics, you know? It's so if something looks really cool, but the part that makes it look cool also makes it not very functional, that makes it not very cool looking to me anymore. Now it looks kind of dopey, you know? That's like, for example, I was a huge fan of the DeLorean until I learned that so much about the DeLorean like was working against it and why it couldn't go above 90 miles an hour. And then I was like, oh, well, now it kind of doesn't look all that cool anymore. But it's always going to hold a place in my heart, of course. But yeah, so with the Cannabox, they dropped the ball big time here, guys. What's up, Rob? How you doing, man? Cannabox has not sent a box for this month, which we paid for, because, you know, we haven't been able to cancel the subscription, but there hasn't even been a box this month. Now, last month they said, oh, because of tariffs and shipping, blah, 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 that they wouldn't be able to do, they wouldn't be able to do, or not that they wouldn't be able to do the box, but the box would be a little delayed. There was no such email for this month, just so far no box, which, like, honestly, I'm telling y'all guys, like I said, like a clock, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Just because I got this really cool Eiffel Tower piece from them, and I love that piece, doesn't necessarily mean that the company is really all that great. The battery that came in the last box, I've been using that battery a lot, but also it's pretty obvious that the battery is not very good. It runs down on power pretty quick. Like it's half the strength of any of my other batteries. Like it shouldn't be less than half power after like just a day of using it, you know? And it's not like I was like abusing it or anything like that. So it just like Cannabox is really feeling like, unless you're one of those people that just like really likes, you know, the whole idea of mystery boxes, and you don't really care about the fact that there's a 50-50 chance that you may not even like anything in the box, that like it's oh yeah, this is kind of cool, I know someone I can give this to, but me myself, I don't see a use for it. If you're the type of person that like doesn't mind that, yeah, the Cannabox is probably pretty cool for you. But for someone like myself, like unless this box that comes this month is like just like blah, like what, like I mean like that's on this level or better, unless it's that, then like yeah, then the company's a total wash for me, and I'm just gonna kind of move on from them, not really recommend them like to people, and definitely make sure that there is no more charges made like with this. But I mean, who knows, maybe they really knock it out of the park this month. I mean, that's not necessarily going to stop me from wanting to cancel it, because I'm still going to want to cancel it after this month. It's just been more money than like it's felt like it's been worth. But if they do knock it out of the park, that could be a situation where I find myself actually wanting to maybe get it again in the future, but being much more specific, like about the stuff, to make sure that, you know, that we can actually access stuff afterwards and make sure that like it's a company that's got a good track record. So I mean, I don't know. I would still love to just have a freaking conversation with Cannabox at this point. But that's that on that part. Like I said, I still love the Eiffel Tower piece. And heck, I love this Eiffel Tower piece so much that if something happened to it, while I wouldn't necessarily go through Cannabox 2 unless I absolutely had to, but I would get this piece again, which I feel like says a lot about any kind of piece, because I've had many pieces before where like I've been devastated that I lost it, but I wouldn't really be trying too hard to replace it. And hell, I've even had a couple pieces since I started making these videos that like they broke, and I like wanted to get them fixed, and I still kind of do. Like I have like one of them in pieces still, like for Andy Dillon to check out. But yeah, I don't know. No, but yeah. Let's moving on. So I before we get into this first thing, I want to try out some of these mint chocolate candies that were gifted to me from Mary Perry yesterday. She makes really lovely infusions, and she makes these peanut butter like bites that are so delicious, and I ate like one or two yesterday that were awesome. And then she said that she made these mint ones, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love mint. And then when I go to see her today, she just surprises me with a pack of them. So we're definitely going to be trying these out. Oh my gosh, yes, they're so minty. It reminds me of like an Andes mint kind of. I don't know. They're like, yeah. But I think they're about 50 milligrams. They're not too big, about the size of my thumb. Like one of those, like there's the gumdrop shapes. You know, but yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Wow. Actually, that's so good. I'm eating another one. Yeah. So it's about like 100 milligrams, something like that. Now, honestly, you guys are like, whoa, 100. One thing, it's good to know, what's in your edibles. And these are, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. These are distillate based for the edibles. So there's like very neutral flavor, so you don't have to worry about it making any, like when you use distillate, you don't have to worry about making your edibles taste funny, like too much like weed or whatever. But it does mean that the high isn't quite as intense than if it was a full spectrum. It's a little bit shorter. Like so 100 milligrams in like distillate, like compared to 100 grams in full spectrum. Like it would be like 100 grams against distillate would be more like 60 to 70 milligrams, like full spectrum. It's not an exact thing, but like when you bring all the other cannabinoids into play, you do get a bit of an entourage, even with edibles. Now, oh yes, but so tasty, Jesus! I could eat another couple of those, and at that point, we would be having a totally different podcast here. But yes, guys. So this study, this study, it is the largest ever study that has been investigating medical cannabis as a treatment for cancer. That's like first and foremost, and that's what's got me so excited. And if you guys have been following the content, you know that this is the big thing that I've been talking the most about, is what we need. All right. Now, this study published in the Frontiers in Oncology. They found overwhelming scientific support for cannabis's potential to treat cancer symptoms and actually fight the course of the disease itself. And the irony of this, it's not ironic, but like it was really funny that I was literally just talking to somebody like just a week ago about how cannabis can have a strong impact on cancer. Now the reason for this whole study was to solidify agreement on cannabis's potential as a cancer treatment, because right now there are a lot of studies that are kind of like all over the place. In fact, there was one of the researchers, Ryan Castle. He was quoted as saying that their goal was to determine the scientific consensus on the topic of medical cannabis, a field that has long been dominated by a war between cherry-picked studies. And I thought that was like a really important thing. That's like a lot of people kind of glaze over when you see all the arguing about cannabis and the studies. Is that they're these cherry-picked studies that aren't exactly looking at the entire picture, even in the sense of that study. Yeah, it's kind of like the story of the blind man and the elephant. You know, got all these blind men, like they're all touching different parts of the elephant, and they're all arguing about what kind of animal it is because like they can't see the whole picture. You know, they're just consigned to this like really small space. Another reason why like to say it's kind of important is because right now, you know, a lot of research is restricted due to cannabis being Schedule 1. That's like a substantial hampering to any type of clinical research with cannabis in humans. I mean, even certain types of lab research gets really complicated by that. Now, in order for them to move beyond this, they had to like do a large scale like study. All right, so for this study, they looked at more than 10,000 studies on cannabis and cancer. Right. More than 10,000, and all of these studies have those two parts in common: cannabis and cancer. That is 10 times the sample size of the next largest study. All right, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal because you guys remember all those other studies that we've been quoting in the past. They're usually not more than like 1,000 people at the most. This is more than 10,000 studies that they're looking at. Okay. Now. Like I said earlier, in order to analyze all of these studies, they use like mass language learning model, and it was this form called sentiment analysis, where they analyze all the studies looking for positive, neutral, and negative views on cannabis's ability to treat cancer and its symptoms, such as helping with appetite. Helping with inflammation, and also improving or optimizing apoptosis or death, like in cancer cells. Right now, the crazy part is that for this study, they were actually like they were only expecting there to be like maybe a little bit of a consensus, you know, like that, like it was going to be kind of muddy, and that it wouldn't be too clear like whether or not cannabis was actually like, you know, a good thing, and that the best case scenario would probably be like 55% of the studies like would show that cannabis helped with cancer. Guys, it wasn't 55%. It was 75%, y'all. 75%. 75%. 75%. If I got a 75% on the test, I'm happy. Like 75%. Like showed that cannabis improved cancer outcomes, and the study overwhelmingly supported cannabis as a treatment for cancer-related inflammation, appetite loss, and nausea. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting, guys. And some of you that have talked to me in person about cannabis and cancer, you've already heard me say it. Well, now we've got 10,000 studies backing up what I'm saying, and that is that it showed in those studies that cannabis had the potential to fight cancer cells themselves. Y'all heard that right? That cannabis, without interacting with the endocannabinoid system, can cause apoptosis in cancer cells through direct contact. Boom shakalaka! That's what they were talking about with Rick Simpson oil. Guys, this is huge. This is huge. Like, this is about as huge as like, okay, well, maybe not make that comparison. I mean, this could be potentially about as huge as showing how effective certain types of mold are at killing like harmful bacteria. Okay. Guys, that is a shocking a degree of consensus in public health research. And it is definitely more than what they were anticipating by 20%. Now, of course, what makes this so groundbreaking is because of how controversial cannabis is, especially within the realms of cancer. There was a study, right? There was a meta-analysis done back a year ago in the JAMA that found that adults with cannabis use disorder, which was defined by the inability to cut down or stop cannabis use, right? So basically, like what all the doctors have been trying to call like weed addicts, like, right? That they were 3.5 to 5 times more likely to develop head and neck cancer. Now, y'all know how I feel about that crap. That they are not looking at other, they're not looking at other variables. That they're literally they're cherry picking data, which is just absolutely like scientifically immoral. And they should be they should be like disciplined very strictly for that. But that's okay though, because we have lots of people out there that are doing real research, that are actually fact checking these people, that are going through. And we have a Donald Abrams, right? He's an oncologist and professor emeritus of medicine at the University of California, San Francisco. He says that that study specifically about the meta-analysis, they're showing that an increase in neck and head cancer, right? That it was incredibly flawed. In his opinion, because those patients that were in that study were often also using tobacco and alcohol, which are known risk factors for those types of cancers. So, like, what are they doing here? Because you know that those studies didn't look at how much like alcohol and tobacco use they had going on. They wanted to focus on cannabis, right? If you want to confirm like anything, if you want to find like proof supporting something that you believe in, like, I mean, anyone can almost find a little bit of anecdotal proof to support anything. Like, I could find anecdotal proof that shows that grass is purple. Like, you know, like, yeah, some grass in some places is purple. That doesn't mean that grass in general is purple. And that's what you have with a lot of these studies here that are trying to make cannabis look like some big bag boogeyman. When in actuality, the prescription drug that scientist is secretly promoting is really the true like monster in the equation. Now, for Abrams' part, right, the professor that was speaking out very strongly against that study, the same way I was. Like, he has found that cannabis to be very useful to cancer patients managing symptoms like appetite loss, like nausea, like pain and anxiety. Right now, the thing that we need more research on, right, that even he's skeptical on, is how is cannabis's capacity to actually directly fight cancer. Now, there's been some other research that I covered a couple months ago that was looking at how synthetic cannabinoids can that were very effective at fighting cancers when in direct contact. And in those studies, they showed that cannabinoids, natural cannabinoids, they also showed that capacity for fighting cancer, just to a substantially smaller degree, and they only looked at certain isolated cannabinoids at that. So it is very, very possible that there are some other cannabinoids that may be structurally more similar to some of those synthetic cannabinoids that they're formulating, that it can have a much more impact, a much greater impact on cancer cells. Now to that, Professor Abrams was quoted as saying, he said I've been an oncologist in San Francisco for 42 years now, where many, if not most of my patients have had access to cannabis. If cannabis cures cancer, I have not been able to appreciate that. So that is one thing that he is taking note. But at the same time, though, how many instances have there been of people having miraculous recoveries from cancer, and the doctors weren't even really sure why? They just said, "Oh, the radiation must have worked." Like it's like the whole conundrum when you ask a successful person what do they attribute their success to, and there's a study that shows that most individuals when that are at least in the public eye, so that they are been able to be really scrutinized, and most of their moves are really open to see that when their moves are observed after the fact, compared to what they viewed was their successful moves, you oftentimes have two very different outlooks, and that oftentimes the people who are the most successful they don't truly understand how they were so successful, or at least not in the sense that they could easily just replicate it for anybody. Otherwise, there would be way more gurus out there just popping out millionaires like it was nothing. So right. It's like I digress a little bit with that. But still, this is really, really exciting news. Very, very exciting news. Um, and it's also further evidence that that we are not stopping down this path of research for cannabis and cancer treatments. So if there's something to be found, like, we're going to find it, and I am absolutely excited for it. If the venom from certain types of bees in South America can help fight cancer, heck, cannabis can help fight cancer. We found cannabinoids in other plants in the Amazon. Or at least there was at least one other plant that had cannabinoids present in it in the Amazon. Like, there's so much about the natural world that we still don't like fully understand, and I am so excited for it. So very excited for it. Yo, what up, Rock Farm? How you doing, man? It's I'm like trying it out with the rocking the hat this time. I feel a little vain, but I think maybe the hat's like making my face super dark. Because like the lights above my head. I don't know. I probably won't wear it next time. All right. So now what we're gonna holler at next, guys. There's a couple of things. There's one thing I want to show you guys. It's more of a teaser, a teaser until I get a new banger or until I get a new dab rig. But it's some really, really lovely hash rosin that I recently got from Mr. Bean Scout that I was helping him wash not too long ago. And it's just absolutely lovely. So we're gonna take a look at that up close under the microscope, and then we're gonna jump right into the cultivar for the day, Jokerz, bred by Jolly Pond and grown by the one and the only Dewey Cannabis. But yes, first let's go ahead and take us a little looky poo at this thing, guys. Alright, boom. Okay. Oh, yeah. Guys, it is so stinky. It is so stinky, but look at it, though. Oh my gosh, the smell. The smell's gonna knock me out. No, I'm playing. It's very sweet. Very, very funky. Has like hints of armpit and butt crack. What in the world? And here we go. Let's look at that lovely, lovely, loveliness, y'all. Yeah, we're just gonna go straight in. Going in. Very, very lovely. And like and the flavors are just out of this world. I mean, like really just really just out of this world. As you can tell, I've already sampled like some of it. Very, very good flavor translation. But I was just so excited about it that I wanted to share with you guys. Before we got too far in the night, and also like in the very slim chance that like it gets like consumed before like I get that banger, I would hate for you guys to have not seen it. But if I do find myself consuming it before that, I'll maybe make a little video of it to like show you guys, like post on my YouTube. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube if you are not following Alchemist Ganjier. Oh my gosh. But yes, now guys, for the princess of the ball tonight, we are taking a look at some Jokerz. And already, right off the pop, just this gassy, this like really just like this chemo-y, kind of funky, with this like sense, like smell of yeast and lime. There's definitely some like lime rocking in that thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's take a look at these things. Goodness. Man, this stuff is sticky. Oh yeah. Yeah, this nice squeeze. In fact, here, what am I doing now? Oh, so odd. Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. I'm sitting like I was still zoomed in from before. Yeah, all right, guys. Look at that Jokerz. Got a nice squeeze to it. Yeah, good stick. Oh yeah. All right, let's go ahead and I did just I just give it a bit of a hard squeeze, but I'm sure it'll be okay. And yeah, let's take us a look at it. All right. And oh wow. Yeah, look at that. Just beautiful. Oh yeah, look at that money shot. Yeah, let's get in there. Yeah, so we didn't need to break this one open at all to start seeing the goods here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When we said you got to try some of that rosin down at Mount Zion. Yes, it absolutely. See, Blue Ridge knows that stuff was fire. But guys, look at this. I'm loving this. You know, guys, I'm not much for the bud porn. I'm more about how it smells. But dang, if that ain't pretty. All right, don't worry, guys. We ain't gonna keep it to just this though. I'm gonna crack this baby open. Yeah, and look at the goods. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, this feels borderline inappropriate. Man, this is like rated R. Oh, or let's see if I can get a better grip up in here. That's what I'm looking for. Wow, right, yeah. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Just lovely. Just lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, alright. Yes, now we need... Yeah, we definitely need to smoke some of this. For sure. Alright, let's see. Get some of this cleared out. What is everyone else toking on tonight? And you guys like stuff to relax you? You like stuff to jack you up? What's everyone's vibe this evening? got good density to it. Yeah, that's one thing that like I really appreciate like with Dewey, but it's also one of those that like that really helps like hone the skills, is that his flower like tends to be relatively dense, even to the extent that like when I got some of his apple banana candy a while back, like he straight up had to tell me before he gave it to me. He's just like, bro, like before you say anything, it's not PGR. Like it's not PGR. You know I don't mess with PGRs like that. Like it's just some really dense bud, man. I don't know what to tell you. And I was just like, dude, Dewey, like calm down, bro. Like like I mean, why would I just assume that? And then I got the bud like from him, and I was checking it out, and I was like, oh yeah, this is dense. This is real dense. Like in fact, I wouldn't necessarily just be out the gate PGR, but I definitely was curious as to like how it was so dense, like. And I mean, granted that, I mean, sometimes that can just happen with like, with the cultivar. Sometimes it can be a very dense cultivar. It's not always PGRs, and oftentimes there are other things to keep note as well. And like, there was still a good squish to it. And as I broke it down, the flavor was amazing on it, like, and the aroma is good on it. But yeah, it's one of those trippy things, you know? Let's get us a nice little bowl going. I feel like that's appropriate. Maybe a little more. And now we'll take that back out. Okay. No, it's going back out. Alright. Now, see, before we, as we crack into this bowl, I want to ask you guys, what are y'all opinions on the VA getting access to like cannabis, and like the doctors in the VA getting more educated on it? That's something that like you think is a good thing? Like, do you think it could be problematic? Like, yeah, just I'm curious about opinions one way or the other. And we're gonna hit this bowl and kind of talk about what the VA actually means when they say they are looking for some help explaining stuff. Oh, what? Blue Ridge Home, you're smoking on some black apple kush? Yeah, buddy. Oh, I know it's one of Doc's lines, all right. We're growing some black apple kush right now with Garrett Farms. Like with Doc. I'm sorry. Like I am growing with Garrett Farms and Doc. So yeah. I'm feeling that. I'm definitely feeling that, bro. I want to try some of your black apple kush. Like, yo, let's go. Let's go, Blue Ridge Home. It's funny because we were just talking the other day, and he was just like, yeah, man, I'm Blue Ridge Home. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. And I swear, dude, like, I'm not built for the internet. I'm not built for the internet. What's up, Dustin? Because like I'm Alchemist Ganjier, but like. And so I'm sitting here with like, an internet name and then like my name, and then I'll know people by their internet names, like, and then I'll meet them and then I'll see them in real life, and like I know them too in real life. I might know them by their government name, but then my brain will sometimes treat them as two different people. like my boy James, who is actually I think he prefers not to people to know his name on social media, so I won't say it, but like. But like, yeah, like frequently I'll be engaging with his social media, and then I'll talk to him in person, and then I'll rehash those same things. Like, he's a different person. He's like, dude, you already told me. Like, sorry, y'all might, like, I know I'm not that old, like, but I'm also not that young. Like, what? I don't know, guys. Let's get high. And yeah. All right, Mr. Fuckubus. Yeah, right there. Yo, I swear, still, I'm gonna shout her out like every day. Like, a shout out to Amy Lee for this guy right here, because this is so freaking cool. Like, and to y'all got me with that. y'all got me with that. All right, bet, guys. Token on some Jokerz, bred by Jolly Pond Farm and grown by Dewey Cannabis, guys. Yeah, cheers. my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So smooth. Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, it started off like this kind of this like bit of a gassiness, that a hint of citrus, the smallest hint of citrus, but like because after I lit the match, I got caught up with the match head like kind of falling off and bouncing over there in front of like Thor. I don't know if it came up on the video, but I got caught up with that. And I was like, oh shit, I don't want that to catch nothing on fire. Like, I mean, it didn't, like, it went out immediately, but at that point I had already pulled in way more smoke than what I'm like normally doing on that. And also I couldn't really feel it accumulating in myself. I was like, oh shit, I actually got some of this already like getting in me. Ended up being a way bigger than I intended. But the interesting thing was, though, is that with how big it was and the cavitation, the flavor kind of evolved, and instead of going this like really like bitter and nasty smoky smoke that when you overly like fill a bong, it got really savory, almost like shrimp or something. It was crazy. Not shrimp, but like that seasoning that you frequently have with those shrimp chips and stuff that like Asian markets and stuff. And even in here, it smells like very like meaty, very savory, and that's something that I really appreciate like with like bud. Like it's something that it's like such an understated, considered thing on like what the actual smoke like after it's been smoked smells like and how it lingers. Because there are some times where like the smoke just kind of smells bad hanging in the air. And then there are times where like it smells really gassy and loud, like you can just tell when someone smokes some like really strong shit, like or whatever. But this has this like, then there's sometimes there's like a nice like this would just be a pleasant incense, you know? Like I would love to just have this like burning and have this like be in the room, like it's like cedar or but a meteor like type. So yeah, it's dope. It's very dope. Got a couple comments. Oh, organic grow supplies. Yo, what's good, man? Yo, man. I gotta say, just from the name, I already love it. Organic grow supplies. Yo, yeah. Blue Ridge Home said, brought me a bud. Sorry to miss you. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. I'll have to catch you next time. Heck, actually, if you're who I'm thinking you are, then we like actually I gotta hit you up like to arrange coming out for a visit at some point, unless I'm thinking about someone different, in which case you have no idea what I'm talking about. Yes. Moving on. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, I need to sip. Much better. All right, so officials at the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, they have announced that they are looking for contractors who can analyze and explain scientific evidence on medical marijuana to clinicians and to the general public. Sorry. Man, I took that sip, and I guess like this Jokerz has a bit of like cotton mouth going on, because I swear like it literally just sucked up everything through my cheeks, and now my mouth is dry again. Wow. It's very resinous, very resinous smoke, because it definitely wasn't harsh coming in, but like after that hit, I'm just like I can feel it. I can feel like radiating out from my chest. Now they're so they're looking for contractors, right, to they're going to analyze and explain, right, scientific evidence on medical cannabis, like for medical practitioners, general public, they're like patients, and that's going to include the potential benefits, right? Of course, with the hallmark I guess the glaucoma of the medical cannabis community for veterans, which would PTSD, right, as well as the potential risks around cannabis use, and cannabis use disorder, and also like the effects of cannabis during pregnancy, stuff like that. Now, there was a so-called like sources sought notice that was published a few weeks ago, where the VA said that of the 9% of military veterans who report using cannabis in the past year, 40% said that they use marijuana to treat a condition or manage symptoms. Now, the trouble comes, though, when veterans are trying to talk to the VA doctors about how to use the drug, because these veteran doctors have no GD clue. Yikes. Now, in short, what the notice said was that clinicians, they encounter patients who are using cannabis or have questions using cannabis. Discussions about cannabis are challenging in part because evidence examining the benefits and harms of cannabis is growing and changing rapidly, and because the variability in the way the existing evidence base has been interpreted. Right? That's a direct quote from the notice. So basically, like that whole thing I was just talking about with like cherry picked studies and all that shit. That's what they're calling out. They're saying like, look, we know that there is a war going on in the cannabis industry. We need someone to come explain to us what the reality is and not what the hype is. And like, listen, that's not to get twisted. Like, while I am a bit of a hype man for cannabis, I do not like throwing out like cannabis claims that are not verifiable. I like for better or for worse. Like, I don't like making like blanket statements saying like, oh, cannabis can absolutely do this. Like, when there isn't sufficient evidence to put there. Like, I may put my opinion out there, but right, we're not gonna get into that. So like the rest of like what their notice said and what the like, Department of Veteran Affairs is looking for is that currently their problem is that there is no comprehensive, independent, updated cannabis evidence resource for the healthcare sector that synthesizes what is known from research and what is left to learn. Basically, they're identifying that there is no national like thing for cannabis and medical research. Wow, what a shocker! You know, when it's Schedule 1. Right? So we're getting to the point now where the actual like internal departments of the government, however, are demanding like that like something is put together, and it may very well be the VA that puts together this central like resource, which honestly, if you think about it, kind of makes sense, right? Veterans are demanding the support, and they're saying that they want to use cannabis, and they're getting more and more permissions to be able to do it. Like, they got to know what they're doing, and our veterans everywhere. Like, you got to have some type of central resource that like they can all tap into, because when you run things in the government, things have to get like to a degree standardized, right? So looks like once again soldiers are leading the way on that front. Now the sources sought notice, right? They said that they're seeking specifically information regarding the availability and capability of all qualified sources, right, in order to perform the work titled Systematically Testing the Evidence of Marijuana. So they're going to be calling it STEM, which I think is really interesting considering we already have like STEM. So I kind of even feel like this is in some way trying to like entice people in STEM to come over and study cannabis, which, yes, that's exactly what we need. Like, yeah, I know that it's great that like that there are like lots of us out there who are passionate enough about cannabis but couldn't give a damn about anything else in school. that have like pushed the way so far, but we also have to acknowledge that there are also lots of people out there who also did not give a damn about what was going on in school, and they still were on the honor roll and did STEM and did AP everything, and they're geniuses, and they should be studying cannabis with us because they will find some stuff that no one else could find. Like that's just simply it, you know? Like we ain't all built the same. So I think this is very, very cool, that like this possibility here, and like it approaches it in a way that's not so much like you know, the 1920s like Flintstones, like, you know, smoking cigarettes, trying to like get kids to get interested in cigarettes. This is trying to engage on an academic level, like, hey, you know, like, come help figure out the science of cannabis. Like, I like this. Now, the department, they listed 3 main goals that they want to try to accomplish in the STEM project, and that was to, 1, educate clinicians about the evidence and its quality regarding the benefits and harms of cannabis in order to facilitate discussions with their patients, right? 2, identify specific research gaps to help researchers design high-yield studies that will advance the field. Yes, bravo. And 3, provide resources for patients and the general public about cannabis-related evidence. Yep, there we go. I like that. That is nice and tidy. I like, perfect. Let's do it. Now, over a year-long period, right, the contractor would be expected to conduct literature surveillance and create living systematic reviews on 5 topics, including PTSD, cannabis use during pregnancy, cannabis use disorder, the treatment of cannabis use disorder, and cannabis for mood disorders. Uh-oh. This is where it, like, we can potentially get a bit problematic, and where this could get very ugly very, very fast, because of the 2 parts, like, well, 3 parts, and that is cannabis use disorder, the treatment of cannabis use disorder, and cannabis for mood disorders. Now, like, that last one, that's a hidden bombshell. That's literally Pandora's box, because there's a lot of good that can come out of that, but there's going to be a lot of ugly that comes out of that first. Oh, I promise you. Like, the number of people in the mental health field who are addicted like junkies to benzodiazepines and other pharmaceutical drugs, they will talk about cannabis like it is methamphetamines, like it is crack, like it is like some type of monstrous drug out there. Especially if you have any type of mental health or issue, like, or any type of mood disorder, if you have any possible history of any type of like schizophrenia or related psychotic disorders, like, and all these other instances, even though it's already been proven that, like, on many levels, especially like a chemical level, we don't even fully understand the operation, like, of these of many of these diseases that we're trying to throw man-made chemicals at. But man, if you want to hear some people like really be dogs about cannabis, like, and against cannabis, like, yeah, sit around for that conversation, cannabis for mood disorders, when they start talking about that. Oh, buddy, it's gonna, I mean, I'm gonna have to be there for it, and I'm gonna have to be one of the warriors in it, because there's no way that I'm gonna let cannabis get dragged through the dirt. But yeah, best believe. Now, what's that? Bet. So now the whole the contractor for this whole thing that they're looking for, they're also like supposed to adapt the work for dissemination on the existing STEM website. Like, they're going to be basically like they're looking for an entity to basically like create their like cannabis program, but like in so many ways, like a lot of these colleges are trying to do, where they get like some outside body, like green flower, the organization that powered the Ganja program, or powered it, like funded it. they created these extensive like courseworks on different aspects of the cannabis field. So this could be an opportunity for a big like government contract for one of these like entities. Man, this Jokerz is starting to like set in, I guess, like its full effect, because like I'm starting to feel a little like, where was I going? What was I talking about? Like type vibes coming in. I mean, obviously we're talking about like this work with the Department of Veteran Affairs, but there was somewhere I was going specific with that thought that I have lost track of. Yeah, Jokerz. I guess it's kind of appropriate for the name. Now, right. So, yeah. So all of this stuff, right? The STEM project, like what they're trying to accomplish, it's going to be a really fantastic opportunity for like whoever gets the contract, and whoever does, I would be happy to like help with work to that end. Like, not to say that like there's a lot that I like, you know, I could like do so much of it, but I'm sure there's something I can contribute to that, especially. Oh yes, now I remember being a warrior. Yeah, yeah, and like right for like mood disorders. Yeah, now that some of that stuff is like coming back. Yeah. So anybody who is interested, they were potential contractors, businesses that want to try and do this. They were to provide contact info, and like basically like email the VA, Department of Veteran Affairs, no later than like April 7th, you know, like a week and a half ago or so. So if any of you guys hearing this for the first time, yep, yeah, too late. That's okay though, because like whoever picked it up is sure going to be like needing employees to some extent, so might be your chance. So this is very, very cool. Like with this type of energy, this type of push from the VA, I feel like this is going to be very, very promising, especially with like the recent like crumblings within the DEA. I'm still learning what's going on with that whole situation, so I'm still not sure if it's good for us or bad for us. Which, like, you know, that like even just knowing that in and of itself like is like what crazy world that we live in. I just know that I saw there was a couple of articles talking about like the DEA, and how like their whole internal cannabis thing was like falling apart. So I don't know if like they're fighting schedule like rescheduling like is falling apart, the whole scheduling process at all, or does that mean that like it ain't going nowhere, that it's going to stay Schedule 1? I don't know. But I think with the VA making these types of like notices, that tells me that we've got to be seeing something, if for nothing else, medical cannabis. In fact, I could kind of see some like crap like that happening. I say crap, but like it would be good for a lot of people. But instead of like decriminalizing cannabis, like creating some type of like national like medical marijuana system, that's kind of skirts the whole like legalizing of cannabis, or even potential rescheduling, you know, like for the time being. I could see something like that happening, like in that way they get to continue being assholes to people, and controlling cannabis that way, while also sounding like they're like actually doing something, you know. But even as I say that now, I feel like in order for there to be a national cannabis program, they would have to change their national stance. Like that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize about this like reefer madness talk that they're doing. All this like, oh, it's a gateway drug and all this blah blah blah. They're literally giving you the finger on a technicality. And that technicality is that all research that has been done within the United States, regardless of what international acknowledgement that it has, the United States government has officially not recognized that. That's like the whole like Gulf of America type shit. That's like the whole like where borders are imaginary, like but what countries agree to type shit. Like that's like is Gaza its own country or is it a part of Israel type shit. Like it's semantics, and semantics in the court of law are very, very important. And politicians love to kind of play lawyer, like while also whatever, because they know whatever they say publicly like is open to public scrutiny, which could be like seen in court because of like the Supreme Court and all that other court stuff. Like you could say some really reckless shit and then have the Supreme Court like kind of pop out and like you know make some type of like clarification or ruling on the laws like based on some like reckless stuff like that you said. Like I mean not like as a direct, but that like it can lead to things is what I'm saying. Like so when they're talking about that like, oh, like cannabis is like a gateway drug, cannabis does all these things and it's all reefer and stuff, because that's what they have officially recognized, that's how far back it goes, right? As soon as there is a national like decriminalization or whatever, then all of that research that's being done in different states by all these different companies now has the capability of being acknowledged by the government. And then like you will see all those politicians trying to talk trash about cannabis instantly, bloop, ain't gonna say shit. Just like you don't hear politicians talking trash about other like legal substances like sugar, like caffeine, like alcohol, like well cigarettes, like yeah to an extent, but if you think about it, they really ain't talking about it as much as they could be. Like if you really think about it, like all the side effects of all these pharmaceutical drugs, like they're just writing technicalities right now. It's like and we've all been there. Anyone who's ever had to like dealt with court, dealt with lawyers, like talked to politicians, like it's all about technicalities. Like heck, even like those of us who have had Facebook posts or comments denied or like pending because like of some technicality about what you wrote, and you're just like, it really ain't that, like what I said wasn't like wrong or bad or whatever. It's like you're just like get me on a weird technicality, so you make a minor adjustment to what it was that you said, and now it's okay. It's like it's one of those really, really, really frustrating things that like makes you wonder why during the Revolutionary War the British didn't resort to guerrilla tactics, because like they were following invisible rules that like they felt like that they could not go against, you know. Like because that was what the culture was driving them towards. Like they're just like this is how we're supposed to do things. And like if think about the chain of command and all of that, is like you follow orders, right? Like you're facing like guerrilla warfare. Like it's just like, well, like yeah, I guess we could try to modify our tactics and do all this stuff, but I could deal with like losing my command. I could get like reprimanded. I could get thrown in the brig for not like following these maritime like laws or these wartime laws that have been established by the crown or like whatever, like established by parliament or whatever. It's all this like weird stuff that like they're just like, if nothing else, manufactured by like the centuries, millennia upon like building of these abstract rules to try to create society that have like turned in on ourselves at so many different points. I just hope that doesn't mean like the collapse of society or something. Because or our society. Because it's so obvious. It's so obvious to us. Like there's like I could not even imagine what would happen nationally if they tried to put the toothpaste back in the tube on cannabis. I mean, like we are not as ignorant about cannabis as we were 100 years ago. Now granted, 150 years ago, people knew cannabis was a really good medicine, right? We got tricked on a technicality of a name. You know, they called it marijuana and we thought it was something else, right? That's how they got me when I was a kid. They told me it was called dope, and I thought dope was heroin because, like, that's what they call, like, heroin where I grew up. Like, heroin's dope. They also call weed dope, so I thought weed was heroin until I, like, came to my senses and actually, like, had some people explain some stuff to me and then tried weed, and it was like, oh, cool. I'm still never going to, like, do heroin. Like, but... that's how they trick and manipulate people, just like this whole STEM thing, right? Now granted, this could be used for good, but like you take words and things that sound like other things and then you just put them up next to each other, and then like you start running game on people. Like that's what I feel like is happening in so many instances. But right now, all we have to do is that we have to stay vigilant, because right now they're doing like the THCA thing. They're trying to get people so confused and so scared about THCA that they ban THCA, which then in turn bans weed. Like, because people understand that all weed is THCA, like, first. Just like it's all CBG first. Like, right? Like, it's just these spray packs. They're getting people confused on that, you know? Like, it is super insidious, and it's super smart. But, like, I mean, if it ain't on purpose, it's a heck of an accident that they're muddying it up so much. But that's what I fear, is that we're gonna end up with some bill with a caveat that bans, like, nationally THCA, that, like, it legalizes, like, some form of cannabis that makes it okay for pharmaceutical companies to use it, but then bans THCA for us to have. And so that'll make it that no one can home grow it, because, like, it cannot be THC without being THCA first. Right? You know? No. I might be fortunate that I have such a small following, because saying some stuff like that might have some people come after me. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Now, let's see, what else? What else we got? What else we got popping? Oh, and I mean that also alcohol retailers, I guess, like they're another one. They're trying to get their hands in cannabis real hard. But I feel like that one honestly is a mildly better situation, because like the alcohol industry does not care about people brewing their own beer at home, like making their own alcohol in general. Like I feel like there was a couple people that had an argument about this, so I don't know where it sits now, and I didn't actually learn for myself, but like they were like, you're allowed to distill your own alcohol to a certain amount of it, like but I don't remember the criteria for it, or if like you needed like a special permit or something. I don't know. But you know, it is what it is. I feel like that's all I was going to be covering today, for real. Oh yes, Dewey. So guys, events going on this coming up week. Well, I say events, like I really mean event, because there's only one that really comes to mind at this moment, and that is the Virginia Spring Festival. That is this Saturday, April 26th. It is going to be a very awesome time, very, very awesome time. Make sure to come out. We'll be announcing the winner of the Diamond Cannabis Cup. We still have a couple of free VIP tickets that we are giving away. I actually believe that maybe one of them has already been given away, if I'm not mistaken. So there may just be one. So if you are interested in details on how you could get a free VIP ticket to the Virginia Spring Festival, hit up Enkeys Canical on Facebook. And also now I know we're talking about VIP tickets and the cost associated with that. The actual event itself is free. Parking is free, entry is free, the event is free. The VIP tickets are for is for access to the judges experience, and that is before we announce the winner, there's going to be a couple-hour period where those with VIP tickets will get a in-depth walkthrough with some of the judges of the process. They'll get to see and interact with all of the top scoring entries. Everyone else who's there will have a chance to see it. They'll get to see them in jars, but they won't be allowed to open it. They won't be allowed to like touch it or smell it or anything like that. That's reserved for the VIPs. Now the VIPs tickets are already all sold out. So if you're trying to buy a ticket, no, sorry. But you can still win one for free. But yeah, so hit up Enki's Canonical and you can find out more information on that. And yeah, this event's going to be really, really awesome. Family friendly, and also, of course, 420 friendly. And yeah, very awesome. And so here we're gonna pack us up another bowl of this Jokerz for the road. Man, I feel like there was something else. I guess just like stuff that I'm personally excited about. It's funny because I feel like there's a point where I don't want to hear about stuff going on in my life, but I mean, maybe you do, and that is that right now, we just started an autoflower fem run, fem seed run, with Mount Zion in collaboration with Garrett Farms. Very, very exciting. We are popping seeds this week, and I just went and checked on them today. Haven't seen any showing their heads yet, but time will tell. Time will tell on our point with that. So very, very cool. Also, we have been making some pretty good progress with the seed run, the Blue Skunk and Black Apple Kush seed runs that I'm doing with Garrett Farms and Doc Ray. They are coming along very, very well. I believe we had a 90, I think a 90% a pop rate, showing, coming out of the seed. I didn't say germination rate, but we had some that we had planted before they fully had germinated. But even most of those, it seemed have all shown out. So very, very cool. I've learned a great deal from the legendary Doc Ray. Really, lots of 1% things, things that can really improve my personal game, but also just big overall tactics. And I'm still excited to learn so much more from him. It's been an absolute blessing to have experienced his tutelage so far. And I will be getting a new camera soon, so very fun. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fully integrate it with my live stream setup. I really hope I can, but I will at the very least have a new dedicated platform for doing content on the road. So definitely on the lookout for more stuff just out there in the world, at Garrett Farms, out Mount Zion, with Doc. Gonna be a lot of stuff with Doc, and yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm still working it out. So if you guys see me out in public and I've got a camera, now granted it's not gonna be a one of them old school cameras. It'd be a little Sony little camera thing, maybe with a little boom on it or something. We'll definitely have to get over the cringe at first, because I feel it looks cool when I'm watching it on YouTube, but I feel watching it while it's being recorded is what? There's a part where it's just are you okay, bud? Yeah. Very, very funny. I laugh because it feels awkward. All right, yeah, let's smoke this Jokerz here, guys. Woo-woo. Yeah. All right. So I did that one with the match. I think this one do with the torch and see how this tastes at a higher temperature. That's like someone was asking me the other day, like why I would use like a torch versus a match, and one of the considerations is like temperature. Well, I do control the temperature decently with like the distance of like a torch. Like a torch, like it'll run hotter. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't care. Cheers. Transitions of flavor. It started off with this nice, like kind of like minty lime, and then it just kind of went like this, like minty and like kind of earthy, like a little bit of gas, and then the gas faded and the mint faded, and then it was just like really. Actually, no. The mint faded, and it was just like a kind of gassy leather that gives it kind of like a varnish, like towards the end. It was really nice. Wow, that was the very last hit. Like you know that ashy hit, like that had a little more flavor than I was expecting it. And that was that was enjoyable. That was like granted, like oh yeah, like duh, like but no, I meant like the how, and granted, like when I lit with the match, I also like over cavitated like the bubbler. I mean, sometimes cavitation can be pretty nice. Like get a little cottage cheese swirl. Now, yo, man, that is going to have me fucking daffy and probably about like 5'10". So while I still have my recognizance, I would like to wish you guys a very happy Easter week. He is risen. I really hope everyone had a great 420. I'll be doing some more interviews soon. It's funny, I just realized with all the like running around the last few weeks and then judging the Diamond Cup with Arliss that like I never actually had him over for this part 2 of his interview. So we were going to do that part 2 like soon in the next like few weeks. and it's it's gonna be dope. He never fails to deliver. Maybe we'll even be able to get my chicken on the podcast this time. Although this next one like will hopefully be in person. And now that he knows where I live, he knows I'm not that far away. We live super close, like super close. If I had to, I wouldn't want to, but if I had to, I could walk to his house. Like so very dope. Yes, and I mean also lots of other people. There's a few people that I have asked to be on the podcast now who have all like graciously accepted. We just need to figure out the scheduling for that. So keep in mind with that, because once it starts, I will hopefully have a nice little like roll with it, and like maybe every week or like 2, yeah, make sure that you guys are making time for yourselves of all this busyness, It's this like we're finally into the warm weather. We might have another cold day here or there, but like y'all felt it today and yesterday. It's getting almost muggy at certain points. Like, so like, and with that comes a lot of that manic energy. So like, let's make sure that we're taking time for yourself. Enjoy the stuff that's going on. And also if you've been wanting to come out to some of these events, do it. I'm telling you, I promise you, like you won't regret it. The events and stuff going on in the community are very awesome. Like the vibes are top notch, and God, man, this Jokerz. Yeah, the cottonmouth is real on it. Like, this Jokerz slaps. It's nice. It's real nice. In fact, I probably. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. I love y'all. Make sure to show yourselves love every day, and make sure you're smoking some good weed. Yeah. Peace, y'all. The fucking bus.